Hi everyone, my name is Elena, and I decided to do my final on language and culture. The three topics I chose were English, Sign Language, and Standard Arabic. English is the #1 language in the world and the fastest spreading language. However, it is the most complex. With it being a West German language that originated from Anglo-Frisian dialects that were brought to Britain in between the 5th and 7th centuries, English is a combination of German, Southern Denmark, and Netherlands dialect. The English language is constantly evolving. It is a top international way of communication. It is currently the official language of 53 countries. When learning the English language, many are taught grammar rules, words, spelling, and pronunciation. However, deeper studies show culture ties and influences within the English language. Sign language. There is no sign language culture, however, there is deaf culture, and that is where sign language comes from. This language is complex, yet it is easy to read where someone learns sign language just by how they sign. Deaf culture and identity are constructed around specific beliefs, values, and art. It is a visually based language. Deaf culture is a unique way of life and allows deaf people to truly be themselves. There are different types of sign language. However, sign language originated from France and developed in the 18th century. Pedro de Leon observed how deaf people's first instinct when communicating was using their bodies, mainly their hands and facial expressions. French Sign Language, FSL, was the first version of sign language, which eventually became American Sign Language, Spanish Sign Language, and Chinese Sign Language, and so on. Modern Standard Arabic, or MSA, originally comes from the Middle Eastern, specifically Algerian, Iraq, and Egypt. It is the sixth most spoken language in the world, and it is the only form of Arabic taught in schools at all stages. MSA is considered standardized, universal, and linguistically correct. It is the only language allowed in media, newscasts, and governmental presentations in certain parts of the Middle East. Although Arabic is one language, its dialects are all different. The Arab dialect is influenced by the culture it is in. It's informal and different everywhere across each Arab country. Arabic is a blend of critical language skills and is applicable in over 20 countries. It allows you to interact and connect with a more diverse culture. These are just some visuals I thought I'd add. Cultural similarities and differences. Similarities between groups. Each language allows people to express themselves, their ideas, to also communicate with others and understand others. Culture gives meaning to specific words and languages as a whole. There is no way in which someone can learn a language without accepting the culture that comes with it. Differences between groups. English is harder compared to other languages because it's developed different vowels, sounds, and word changes meaning everywhere throughout the world. Sign languages has differences in expressions, develops regional accents, dialect, rhythm, and slang. Arabic is considered the hardest language to learn for English speakers. They also read right to left, and pronunciation is looser compared to English. Comparison to your own cultural group. I personally speak English, however, I do also still practice American Sign Language, which I learned in high school. I practice these languages and thoroughly understand those two cultures. However, I don't personally connect to the Arabic language or culture, but I have been fascinated by what I have learned about the language and different cultures in the Middle East during my research. Thank you for staying for my presentation, and the question I have for you is what interested you about my presentation and did anything stand out? Thank you so much.